Okay, guys, I know this is a lot of stuff. I just kind of went around my craft room and gathered things from here and there. I have a card in mind and I want to put it out in the world. So that's what we're going to do today. If anything's available, I'll have links in the description box. Those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. What I'm hoping is that you can just go through your stash and grab whatever it is that you have. This is going to be very paper intensive. You already saw the card. I have like an idea in my head of what I want this to look like. I don't know what it's going to end up looking like, and that's fine. You know, we'll just do it and see what happens. Having said that, I did put in, I will link since it is Cyber Monday. I hope I release this video today. The things that I've picked up, and I know Tonic is also coming out with a new little gift box set tomorrow, but it's already available today, so I went ahead when I placed my final order for the week. I added that too, so I'll have a link for that too. It's not an item I received for a review, I'm just buying it because it's one of their new boxes and I love their little boxes, so it has to do with like floral something or other. But I'll link that in the description box. Anyway, that's just to let you know what's going to be down in there if you guys want to check it out, and any reminders for like, you know, promo codes that are ending today or those kind of things will be in there too. All right. Speaking of Tonic, what happened is I had seen an image for their milk churn set, which this is what I created, but one of the other, well, I would say design team members. I'm not a design team member, but one of the design team members, so I shouldn't say other because that makes it sound like I am, but either way, she had made this card and it looked like it has like a Z-fold quality to it, but it's more of like a gatefold. And I'm like, well, how can I do that, but also be an A2 size card? Oh, somebody asked earlier and I already responded if this milk churn was small enough to put in the marquee. Yes, of course. I mean, if you can see, it's smaller than my hand and, you know, the marquee folder. Well, I guess I can just show you. You know, it'll fit in there perfectly. This is the elongated one, but even the length of the regular one will be fine. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then it's really straight, so in my mind I want to make one similar to that, but we're going to gatefold it and have like a Z-fold thing, but it's kind of like an aperture card, like those kind that Crafts with Companion makes whenever you kind of squeeze it together, so it's like a shadow box. It's the same kind of thing, but it's just going to be a little strip in the front instead of a whole other front that's the same as the back. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. So I just went through my craft room and grabbed some things in my mind. I was like, oh, I can make like a little scene. I honestly wasn't going to make this Christmassy, but that's what I went for. You can do this with anything. I think it'd be really pretty to build up like with flowers and all these different things. So I grabbed some different, you know, glitter card, tropical ties, sugar crystal. If you're not familiar with Tonic's papers and you want to pick something up right now with a good deal, I would say check out their Black Friday deals. I know some of the paper packs are already sold out, but I got their basic one, which is like the white cardstock, the black cardstock. It's like the heavyweight stuff. I can't remember what else is in there. And then I got like the specialty one or speciality one that they call, because I have a lot of the papers, but the white cardstock, the black cardstock, like those basic things I use up really a lot, so I grabbed that. But like I said, I'll link all these different things in the description box. I think, okay, so I'll be using this set from Diamond Press, the Christmas tree dies. I have these that I haven't used yet, and I was debating, I was still on the fence if I was going to keep them or send them back to HSN, only because I didn't use them, but you know what? They're actually really cute, and what I should have done is open these before, because I didn't realize they don't have like a sticky thing closing them shut. So for this one, I probably use like, I don't know, a Christmas tree might be nice, but maybe this Christmas wishes. But I do want to show you, they are a nice size. I thought they were like micro mini. I mean, look at the package, right? It looks really tiny, but that's not bad. So I think they're going to stay with me. So we have those. I'll probably use one of those sentiments. I just pulled out this gnomes paper, even though this is more playful than what I was going for, but as I was flipping through, because I just wanted like snowflake paper, and I thought, you know, this would actually be really cute, or this one. But we're going to build up like a little scene, and this is the color I want to matte with. This is my base color, and I was looking through this, and actually when I flipped, look at this blue paper. It has a really pretty sheen to it. Really, it's made for this side. This is the back side of it. But I thought that looked really nice with the matting of this French blue from Tonic Papers too, so I'm going to pull this out. And if I need more paper from this, I will grab other ones. I don't know if I want all the paper to be exactly the same. I might play with that a little bit. Oh, you know what? Maybe we can go with a different color, because look, this one's like a light, or like the lighter blue. I don't really like pulling papers out until I'm going to use them, but you know what? I have a feeling I might use this lighter blue one. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So let's make the very base of the card, and then we're going to go from there. So basically we're going to build a scene. That's why, like, in my head, I wasn't going to do a Christmas thing. I do want this scrap of paper to have a different color of white. for my creatures. I just, I get an idea, I want to try it out, and I want to share it with you guys, so I think this will be fun. Again, I'm going to try to do more of just playing with the things I've ordered, which is normally what I do, and then now I would have Busted Out. Well, not now, I've been doing Busted Out for like a year and a half, like almost 2 years. I started doing it before I called it Busted Out. Freeform Friday, I try to do the same thing. I want you guys to use, think of what you have in your stash. It's not always about buying more, picking up more stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, sorry for the rough edit. I just realized I want a white piece of paper for my card base. It can't be like an A2 and A4. It needs to be 12 inches because we're going to fold this in and fold it back on itself. So it's not just a gatefold, it's going to go back again. So you need basically all of this. So for it to be a standard A2 size, it needs to be 4¼ by 5½. I'm going to make it 4 by 5½ because unless I add more paper or like more flaps, then you can get it to be 4¼, but the 1/4 inch is so negligible. Like I'm not going to deal with that. I like to just use this piece of paper and we're going to do that. So it's going to be 5½ inches tall. I need all the 12 inches of this direction because we're going to score it 4 inches on either side and then 2 inches on this one. So you need the whole thing here. And then I'm also going to, if you've seen some of my other Z-fold videos, I'm going to make the band part of it also from this one piece at one time. So 5½. I think I want my band to be like 1.5 inches. So 5½ plus 1.5 inches, that's 7 inches. So 7 inches on one side. Oh, sorry guys. We're going to cut some more of this off in just a minute, but I'm going to do this all at once, just so we score it one time and then do our cut, okay? So 12 by 12 piece of paper. Sorry, I was going to start with a smaller piece and then I thought, hold on, that's not going to work. I already knew that sitting on my couch. I knew that wasn't going to work and I still grabbed a smaller piece of paper. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I think that's the story of my life. Why is it so dark on this side? Oh, I should open the other window. Okay. So our piece of paper is 12 by 7. I'm not going to score on this way at all. We're just going to score this way. So we're going to score at 4 inches on both sides, but we're also going to score at 2 inches. So I might as well have done 2 and then 4. So 2. Ooh, not too hard because then we're going to cut into our paper. And 4. And flip it to the other side. 2. And 4. And in my mind, this is going to look amazing. So I hope that's what happens because I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this is going to be so cute. Who knows? Okay. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to fold this at the 4-inch line in, right? And I'm just making sure it's pretty straight. You don't really have to score like this bone folding until we're done, just so we're sure where we want it to be. And then this way, okay? So front and back. Again, I'm just going to barely push it. I'm not going to completely score it. Now, in the other direction, we're also going to fold on that 4-inch line. And like I said, look at how crooked that is. Isn't that crazy? And that's why I usually don't bone fold until I'm there. That was way crooked. And you guys saw what I did. I mean, the paper, maybe it moved on me. I didn't notice. And then back. So now what I'm going to do is pay attention to all of this. So I'm going to line these edges up. I'm going to bring this one back. Line up my little edges, bring it in this way. So there's a pretty good gap there. But again, that all has to do with how you're bone folding. I'm not going to be too concerned with that, just for real, but check that out. Okay, so it's something like this. Now we're just going to cut that bottom 1.5 inches off, and that is done because it's already done it all at once. So I'm going to do some really nice bone folding here. And bring this guy back. And I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off the bottom or the top. It doesn't really matter. I would say pick whichever one you think you need to trim up and use that one. 5.5 inch, basically a standard A2 size, other than it's 4 inches, so it's not standard. And then we have this piece we just cut off. And this piece I'm going to flip and use it here. And when we glue it together, hopefully this makes sense to you guys, it's going to do this. Pretty cool. That's really big. So I don't know. I was going to put this all the way at the bottom. We'll see what happens. I might put it up here. Who knows? So what now I'm going to do is some matting and layering before I get into anything else. And then we're going to start building it up because again, I have no idea where I'm going with this. I just wanted to try it out. I thought it'd be fun. So I do like the French blue for like the mats to this, and I'm going to mat everything just a little bit smaller, right? You guys know I like 1/8 inches. So I'm going to take a piece of this French blue, and we can do our quick math right now. I'm gonna write it down so you guys have that. Okay. Everything I think is gonna have some French blue, just to pull it together that way. Yeah, why not? So, every bit of these things is gonna have some French blue. So this is 4 by 5.5, right? This piece right here. So I want a French blue piece that's 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch all around smaller. That's how I like my mats. If you like 1/4 inches, it's going to be a lot more visible, the white background, but I would say do 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, right? So these pieces we know are 2 inches by 5.5, so we already know the 5 3/8 part. And since it's 2 inches, we need 1 7/8. This will be the same 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. Same for these 2 panels, right? And I'm talking about the matte layer, and then we're going to do another matte layer. So this is that first matte layer. And then on these guys, they're all going to be, the width here is 1.5 inches. So 1 3/8. 1 3/8 by, you know, this is 1 7/8 because it's almost 2, it's 2 inches, 2 inches. So this one will be the same, that will be the same. And then this guy will be the 1 3/8 by 3 7/8. Oopsie, I wrote that wrong. But you know, 1 3/8 by 3 7/8 because this is the 4 inch. And then the 1.5 part. Okay, I'll read those just because I know I have chicken scratch. This one's 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. These guys are 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. 1 3/8 by 3 7/8. And then these guys are 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. Again, if you like quarters, you're just going to take a quarter off, you know, instead of 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to cut these up, and I'm going to cut it up in a way that makes sense to me. So like I'll do the 1 3/8 and then cut the other sizes, or however. I'll just cut this up and I'll be right back. I know we don't need our handheld the whole time, but I just want to show you, like I said, I cut it 1 3/8 this way, just off the paper. And now each little chunk, I need the 1 7/8 in the other direction. So it's already 1 3/8. I need 2 more, that's 1 7/8. I'm lining it up there. There's another piece, and here's another piece. So just to make it easy, we already have it cut in the same direction, you know. If your paper has a direction, definitely pay attention to that. But this, we're going to put another pattern paper on top of this, so this part doesn't, it shouldn't really be a pattern paper, but, you know, whatever you have, whatever you're doing, that's great. This one's kind of funny because it's 3 7/8, that's the same number as that one, the 3 7/8. So we can probably cut it in a way that I can get, you know, cut it at 3 7/8 first, and then do the 5-inch one and then the other. Hopefully that'll make sense. Let me show you. I'm not trying to observe, like, save paper right now because this is the first time I'm doing this card. Next time I'll think about that. But if I want 3 7/8 right now, there's that one. And then we can go 5 3/8 off the other side, right? 5 3/8. And that'll mat there. And since I already cut the 3 7/8 part, right? We just did that. All I'm going to do is cut this one at 1 3/8. 1 3/8. Nice and straight. And that'll fit there. See? All right. And then now I have left to cut these 5 3/8 inch pieces by 1 7/8. I just need 4 of them, and I'll be back on the last one. That is so funny. That took up pretty much the whole, oopsie, the whole piece of paper. I have these little bits that I didn't need, but everything else was used. Pretty cool. Okay. Oh, and one little chunk. This might have been from that one. Hold on. Let's make sure. These are basically the same size. I don't know if you can see that. But it should be the 1 3/8. This one's completely 1.5, so I don't need that. It's this one. It's this one. Okay, so those are just some little bits of the paper. Cut the other direction 5 3/8, and then I had all these to do the 1 7/8 part. Okay, so now all I'm going to do right now is just glue these down because I don't want to keep having these kind of, so I'm just going to take some glue and just every single matte layer, just glue it down, leaving its little excess or whatever all around. Okay, glue this guy and glue this guy, and same thing with all these pieces. Okay guys, I have my last panel here, and this just makes the card feel so much sturdier, so nice. And again, the way I'm kind of eyeballing this one kind of stuck down before I really wanted it to, but oh well. a little crooked. Okay, so hopefully you kind of see what's going on. We have this, and then this is going to be glued to here somewhere. Like I said, I'm not sure. I think I want to put the bottom, that way if you want to set the card up, they can, right? It'll stand up. This is a big boy, but really my intention was to pull it open like this, and that's how you would look at it, and then just put it away. But as you're doing this, your scene can be this here in the front, but also when they open it, more showing through the back, right? Now this looks lovely already, but I had pulled those colors. Funny enough, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put this light blue in the back and this dark blue in the front. But I think since I'm doing so much white, I'm going to build up like a little snow scene, plus our little deer from that die set are probably going to be white. That's why I got that pearl white paper. I think the darker color in the back looks better. And I don't know if I'm going to put anything else on these other ones. Oh gosh, I wish I could think of it right now. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to cut these to go in the back pieces, and I'm going to cut the light color to go on these front pieces, and we'll just see what happens, okay, how that turns out. I was thinking about mixing and matching, but okay. So now I'm going to mat this, and so now we're going to take 1/4 inches off the original size since we already did 1/8 inches, so basically I need this to be 4 by 5.5, right? So we want 3 3/4 by 5 and 1/4. 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to take 1/4 off of every single mat from the original size. I'm not going to think about these 1/8 anymore, okay? So that way it's less problematic for us. So 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 on that one. This guy needs to be 2, so 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Again, these are, how do I keep writing like that? 5 1/4. 1 3/4 again by 5 1/4. Okay, for these background pieces, of course, all of them. And these little guys, again, we're just going to take 1/4 inch off the original. The original was 1.5 by 4, so 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then these guys are going to be 1 1/4 by 1 3/4, right? Because they're 2 inches. So 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. These little pieces. Okay, 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. I almost did it. I had to sneeze and I thought, okay, I can just say it real quick, but no. Then these guys, these panels are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. I'll be right back. This is so funny. As I'm cutting, I didn't realize, obviously my pattern paper is 12 inches wide. This was 12 inches wide. So you can just keep cutting if you wanted from like the 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, 1 3/4. But I didn't do that. So I cut all these skinny strips and then I cut this guy. So if you really match it up, this guy matches up over here. But that's not a big deal. If you have a pattern paper that you want to continue the pattern, I would say cut it in that way, right? The skinny panel, large panel, skinny, and skinny. So for this one, I am cutting them just in order since I know it's going to work. So I still need 2 more that are 1 3/4. Sorry, 1 3/4 right here, and 1 3/4. Again, if you have a pattern you want to continue, then that matters, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to glue these down. So again, just like we did before. Oh, I mean, the back of the paper is so cute. I'm just kind of going with the snow, but we're just going to add these on. And the reason I pattern them off the larger boxes is that we don't have to worry about the 1/8 or think about it that way, right, when we're doing our math. So it's just easy to knock 1/4 inch off and do it that way. All right, guys, I'm just going to mat these up, every little piece. Again, Nuvo Deluxe is my favorite glue, but once you put it down, it wants to stay, especially when the papers are just like matte papers. If it's like shiny or metallic, sometimes you have a minute to play with it, but if it's this kind of thing, once you place it down real good, it's not going to want to move. So, you know, kind of be careful with that. But that's why I love it, because honestly I can just do that and move on and I know it's pretty much set. Okay, so I'll glue these guys down also in their matte areas. And I'll be back. Okay, my last panel. And now I'm like, what was I going to do? This is what happens once I get to this kind of thing. Okay. Now we got to think. So depending on what you're doing, maybe you're just going to do flowers and like a sentiment in here. So when you open it up, the flowers are still, it looks pretty, and then you have a sentiment here. You know, that would be awesome. That's kind of what I was initially planning, but then it became a snow scene. So here we are. So before I stick anything down, I need to think about what it is that I want to do. Again, it's going to be like this, basically. Okay, and then when it closes up. And if it's going to be a lot of card that fits into, you know, an A2 size envelope. That's crazy. Blows my mind. But again, in my mind, now that I'm doing a snow scene, let me bring these other pieces of paper. And I need this glittery card. I was also going to do snowflakes, which means I need to go back in my stash. But then I was like, well, am I going to do snowflakes? I don't know. Sugar crystal. Beautiful paper. Love this paper. You can use your alcohol ink markers on it. If you die cut something and you want it glittery, and then you use an alcohol ink marker in pink or red or whatever color and color over it, it takes it really nice. Really nice way to kind of play with just a plain, you know, white paper, and then you can dress it up. What I'm going to do is cut this in this width, which was 3 3/4, right? Let's think. 3 3/4. This is going to be down here. That's the thing. I don't really know where this is going to be. I got to think about this. So this is where you start building your scene and thinking, do I want this down here? Do I want it up here? I think I'm going to have it down here. So it needs to clear that. So let's say like 3.5 inches just to start. So I'm going to cut this at 3.5 inches. Since this paper doesn't have a direction, it doesn't really matter, but I cut 3.5. I'm going to cut it 3 3/4 inches wide. And I think I'm only putting this in this area. I'm not going to use it anywhere else. So that is kind of high, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do with that now is take a scissor, and if it doesn't cut the way I like, I'm going to do it again. I'll just redo it. It's no big deal. Let's bring this over here. Again, let's make sure we have the 3 3/4. If I kind of do this kind of a thing, I want it to look like snow, you know. So I'm just kind of, now you might have a die for this, then use the die. I'm going to stick that there. And that leaves one little lump. Now, if this was like double-sided, I would just turn it over and use the other side, you know, like down here or something. But since it's not, kind of problematic, I'm going to cut another piece. Actually, I might be okay with the one piece. Let me think. No, I kind of wanted another little hill. I might be able to hide this back here, actually, if I just go this way and tuck it down without having to use another piece of paper. Let's see. Let's pretend. And then if I don't like it, I will cut another piece of paper. So I just made like an opposite hill. Ooh, we can tuck that right in there. And it has a little texture. I mean, you can see it's different. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Okay. That might work for me. Okay, I might even tuck it down a little further. We'll see, but that's good. Okay. From this, I'm not sticking anything down yet. No promises here. I'm going to take these little guys. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them, if they both fit or not, but I'm going to cut both of these deer. And then this branch, I was planning on using the branch. I don't know if I can. So I'm going to cut this branch several times from like craft paper, okay? And I'll be right back. Actually, I saw this brown piece of paper in my stash, so I'm just using that. But craft, you know, brown, whatever. Brown paper. That's all I wanted. Now we have our little guys. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are so elegant and beautiful. So cute. Oh, you know what? This set has bows. Okay, I'm making a winter scene, but what if you cut the little bows and put a little bow on their neck? Oh my gosh. Cute. Okay. Let's put this to the side. Now let me think about what it is that I want to do. I'll get reoriented here, because in my mind, when this is closed, I'll show you what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, this will be closed up, and I was going to put a tree on either side, like in here. But now I wanted to fit in my envelope, so if I do that, it's going to be a little trickier, right? But I can still add a tree, maybe just on one side. So when it opens up, sorry, this will be glued here. And then maybe another tree in the scene, right? To help us build the scene. I might have to bring it up. I might even make my own tree. Okay, so let's say that was in here. And I wanted the trees to have no vegetation. You know, that was part of my plan. I might actually tuck that in behind the snow. And then we'll place our little guys wherever. Like I said, if it works. If it doesn't work, I wasn't going to use them. But, oh, maybe this guy can be up here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if we're using one tree, this is closed up. Then maybe I'll put the sentiment here. I wasn't going to put the sentiment here, to be honest. I was going to put it on the inside. So I wanted this to be a little more like, a little more dressed up. Oh my gosh. Can we put him there? No, I don't want him way out there. The other thing is, did I want the tree on this actual piece here? I think I do, and I do want this down here. Okay, so now we gotta start committing. Okay, depending on what you want to do, maybe you want to glue the thing behind the little bar, you know? However it is that you want to build up your scene will be awesome. Okay, so move that. Move that. Let's say we're going to glue this down, and I'm going to leave this kind of in a funky way because I don't know what I'm going to do with the tree. So what I'm going to do is put glue around this edge and kind of see what's going on over here. What is that I want to do with this guy? So we're placing that there. This guy can be kind of in here. And maybe it can be higher up, actually. You know what? That's what I'll do. Put this one a little bit higher. And line it up there. Line it up over here on the edge. Because maybe I'm going to tuck my tree in here, so then that way you can see more of the one side, you know. Let's see. So you look more like a bush. Do I need to tuck them in like this? I'm trying to clear the top of this. I might cut it down. Actually, that's good right there. Okay, so you can see I didn't glue anything. And I just remembered I have some little snow from the Dollar Tree that I want to use on something like this, so maybe we'll try that out too. Sorry, I don't know why my card's way up here. So I might add that to my tree. You know, this set has little berries. It has little fake snow too. Okay, let's pretend that's that. Now, we can make these guys pop up, right? And we can keep them down also. He's way back there. I wonder what look at the little hooves. Oh my gosh. Can you see, like, you can see the little hooves there? So cute. Like, I really want to use these. Both of them. Alright, let me think about that for a minute. And see what that might look like with this down. And I guess I could just go ahead and stick this down at this point. That way I can have a better idea. Okay. So this guy, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down completely. Right at the very bottom base of my card. Okay. Keeping that nice and straight. Right there. It's going to hold on pretty quickly because of the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. So as you're building this at home, like I said, if you're making like a floral thing, you know, think about where you want to place your flowers before you stick things down, where you actually want to place this crossbar. I'm going to close this up and push that down just so that I know we're straight and good. Looking pretty good there. I'm going to hold that down. But you see how now the card is plain on the front, so you can always decorate this separately or differently or however it is after you're, you know. But again, I can actually put that there when it opens up. It's not hurting anything. And then we'll put some little snow on that too. Oh my gosh. Cute. Okay, I still don't know what I'm doing with these guys. But for now, I will glue this tree down. And I just kind of have him hanging over there. We'll put this down very well. Maybe I'll put something over there. And I'm putting the little tree on this side. I mean, I could go on the other side, wherever. It needs to go more this way, though, so that, again, my card is only 4 inches wide, so I know I have a little bit more that can fit in my envelope, so I'm letting it hang off there. And I'll pop a little glue underneath each of these little branches just to hold it down, okay? I'll be back. Okay, so now that I'm looking at this, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll put them down here. I'll put this guy up here. I'm going to pop that guy up a little bit so he's not just so flat, and he's more noticeable. I think that'll be cute. And let's fix our little legs. These are so elegant. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put him like a little further up so we see him real well. And this guy, I guess I'm going to use dimensional adhesives, which I would rather use 3D glue gel, to be honest, but I want to be able to close this up and show it to you already, so can't use 3D glue gel. Before I stick this guy down, I told myself right now when I took a break, when I said I'll glue these down, I was going to go grab the snow, which I forgot. So let me do that and I will be right back. I'm just going to take the back of this paper and look at this. It's chunky, guys. I mean, this is meant for like decorations, but if you weren't able to get the Craft's Companion one, and like I said, when I opened it, it went all over the place. I'm sure this will too, but I was like, ooh, it's, I'm really allergic to things, so whenever something really goes in the air, it's something I want to stay away from. So this one seems a little bit heavier, like it'll stay where you put it. So, you know, I don't know what I want to do with this. Let's think. Oh, I put glue there and it didn't stay. If snow fell, would it be just at the tips? I don't know. I guess we'll put it in the same direction on each of these guys. Something like that. I don't know. Well, that's kind of weird, huh? Okay, I'm just putting snow wherever. There's no rhyme or reason here. And I'm just going to grab it with my hand, but you can just pour it. Oh, this stuff is really soft. Oh, it's like Mylar, I think. Busted up Mylar is what it feels like. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a second, so hopefully whatever will stick. I probably would not stick my hand in there the next time. I'll just pour it from the bag. Okay. Shake that off. I'll shake the rest off with like a little brush or something. And I might even add a little bit more because I really like the look of it, but I only held on to a little bit of it. And I'll do the same thing with this guy. I'll just add some glue, pour some of this on, and I'll be back. Okay, well that was not super fun to clean up. And there's still a little bit more, but once it dries, I'll shake it off. I don't want to shake it off right now, but there's a little something. Alright. Wanted to try it out. And it worked okay. Now let's put this on here. His little legs are just going to be hanging around because, you know. Now, I'm sorry guys, I need to see what's going on because this is my card and he's like down here. I guess we can put him like right here. It's hard for me to see what's going on. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, when we close this, it's going to look something like that. And I guess that's why I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment here, even though I was going to initially put it up at top. You can do an aperture. I mean, think of all the different ways you can manipulate this to make a scene, or just put some beautiful flowers, little flowers kind of going up like this, like some Anna Griffin things, this way and this way. Make this taller, put it in a different area. I mean, there's so many ways you can frame this out. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, so let me cut out... So these are all kind of, you know, Santa Claus, Joy to the World, that's okay. Christmas tree was kind of nice, but, you know, my Christmas trees are bare here. We have Merry and Bright. I think I'm going to use this Christmas Wishes, like I said initially, because I think that's the one that works the best with this. Aww. And then, oh, it's only the word by itself, too. So, it doesn't have an outline. So, if I stick this on here, what color do I want that? I do have the blue, the sparkly blue. This one. Might be too light. I'm going to cut it out on this and see how it looks. If it's too light, I'll switch it out for something else, but I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, my neighbor decided to start a serenade. Sorry if you can hear that. They've never played music like that loud, but okay. So this is very delicate in a way that's like not super great, but so what I did is I cut it out also in this color. Only because it doesn't have a background dye. You know, if I had a background dye, I wouldn't care. I love delicate, but since this one doesn't, what I'm going to do is remove this. I'm going to do it pretty carefully. And I'm just going to glue these together. I think I'll still keep the light blue on top though. You know, to give it a little more oomph and a little bit so you see it better. Okay, so I'm going to clean that out and then just glue these two together in a drop shadow fashion, meaning it's going to be a little bit down and to the left or just down like this. I mean, you can drop shadow however you want. It's just there to add some extra, so if you want to just go straight away, that's good too, you know. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I'll glue these together just like this. Okay. So again, all I did this time is actually I put glue on the back of my hand, and I'll do it again because we're going to glue this guy down here. That's kind of why I wanted this at the top, because I like the way it's like a shooting star. You know, I would have put it up here. But well, we're putting it down here today. And so I just need glue in this bottom area. I think now that it's a little bit thicker, I can just put the glue on there. And then just stick this down. And if you wanted to paper piece some things back in there, you could, because it, in the star area, or like in this area, You can definitely do that. I'm trying to see how much of this more can I need to put glue. Like right about there. We want it to stay where we're putting it. Alright. And you know, it can be a little higher up if you want it kind of in the scene. Alright, I'm going to hold that down. I'm going to wash my hands and I'll be right back, guys. So let's check this out. Again, I can't really close it too much because this stuff is still there and I'll clean out that extra. But for now we have a card that looks something like this, so they can set it up like that if they want, or just look at it and put it back away as you're pushing it. I mean, you can you can decorate all these different areas. I could have continued this snow, you know, if you wanted to continue it, like going down this way. I just wanted that little scene to be the little scene. But as I'm closing it, it closes up like this. And look at that. So that's the front of the card. Oh, okay. You know, you bring it out and then you open it up. That's a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I can think of so many ways to use this. Like, I just wanted to try it out and see what that looks like. And I have tons of ideas. Use your papers, guys. I promise you, it'll be great. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.